Hey, Daily Dosers, Chris here. We are doing an entire week just devoted to women in the Bible. And when you think of all the great women in the Bible, all the great heroes, where do you start? Where do you start reading? And of course, I'm like, you know what? Proverbs 31. Now, ladies, listen. A lot of ladies, if you know what Proverbs 31 is, you're like, turn this off. I don't want to hear it. I got enough pressure on my life. And I get it. I promise you, though, if you think that way about Proverbs 31, I'm going to change your mind today. Here's why. For those of you that aren't familiar with Proverbs 31, it is a giant list of the perfect woman. And of course, not a single woman on earth can live up to Proverbs 31. I am so glad there's not a Proverbs 32. Here's what the perfect man looks like. Because, in fact, there may have been one written and men tore it out long ago before the Bible was published. It's almost an absurdity when you listen to this woman, but let me give you a picture of what's happening here. And then maybe at the end of it, you'll go, wow, that's one of my favorite chapters on women in the Bible. Psalms 31, the sayings of King Limwell, whoever King Limwell is, it's an oracle that his mother taught him. It's an acrostic. Here's a poem that a king was taught as a little boy by his mom. O my son, O son of my womb, O son of my vows, do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who can ruin kings. And it is not for kings, O Lemuel, not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer. The next few verses, she goes into that. O son, I have such big hopes and dreams for you as the next king. Please don't spend your strength chasing wild women and getting drunk. Speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves. I pray that you're a man that seeks justice and mercy for those who need mercy. And then she gets into, and here's who I want you to marry. Verse 10. A wife of noble character. Who can find her? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her. He lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships that bring her food from afar. She gets up while it was still dark. She provides food for her family, portions for her servant girls. She considers a field and she buys it with her own earnings. She plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong about her task. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. My gosh, this woman is working 20 hours a day. She not only takes care of her family thinks that she's the most amazing woman on their own. She has several businesses. She has a couple Pinterest sites. She is making her own clothes. She's doing her own business. And because she's got money coming in with her side hustle, she decided to plant her own vineyard. So now she's opened her own winery. Yeah, this is a woman I'd like to marry. Verse 20, she opens her arms to the poor, extends her hand to the needy. Oh, she's generous. She also has an amazing heart. Verse 22, she makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate. Oh, she also makes all the home furnishings. And by the way, because she's so amazing, everyone thinks her husband is that amazing too. Verse 26, she speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. Oh, she's a teacher. She's a mentor to other women. She watches over the affairs of her household. She does not eat the bread of idleness. She's never lazy. Her children arise and call her blessed. Every morning when the 8 wake up, they go, Mama, you are a saint. We hope to be like you one day. It's the most amazing household. Charm is deceptive. Beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. So give her the reward she has earned. Let her works bring her praise at the city gate. Ladies, you've got a lot to do. And that's kind of how Proverbs 31 leaves you, doesn't it? You're a businesswoman. You're amazingly devoted to your husband. Your kids all love you. The city gate has pride because you just simply live in that community. You own 3 of your own businesses. You dress your own family. You mentor. You teach. No wonder you're up in dark, and no wonder your lamp doesn't go out because you have no time to sleep. How could you? And yet you do it all with the joy of the Lord. Chop, chop, North Coast women. You've got some work to do. And yet, can I just take you back? This is a poem that King Lemuel's mom taught him. This isn't written by some man. This isn't some Sovinish literature. This is a mom that sees her king, and her boy is next to take the throne. And he goes, let me tell you where the strength comes from. It's a godly woman. So when mom makes a list of this is the type of woman I want you to marry, mom isn't saying every woman has all these qualities. Mom is saying these are amazing qualities for a woman to have. But there is no woman that can check off every box. What does King Lemuel mean? Beloved by God. We don't have a King Lemuel in the Bible, but beloved by God isn't a name you really name someone. It's a pet name. And considering this book is primarily composed of wisdom of Solomon, I've often wondered, is this Bathsheba? Is this a woman who was caught in an affair with the king? Her husband was killed. Her son, out of that adulterous affair, died after birth. But she was allowed to have another boy in life, Solomon. And she understands the hardship of sexuality and the pressures of a king. And Bathsheba, with her little beloved and begotten by God, knowing he's next in line to be king, has taught him a poem. Let me tell you, the power of your throne isn't going to be because of who you are. It's going to be because of the woman that's in your life. May we always see Proverbs 31 as the way to raise our girls, as women, what to look at and go, wow, this is the importance, the role that women play in business and affairs, in family, in home, in the city, and in the kingdom. This is a mom wanting the absolute best for her son. So yes, she threw everything in one chapter. But this is an ode to women who love God and love their families and are working so hard to make this happen. See, this is praise for the women that we will get into this week, that simply take a stand and say, not on my watch, not with my kids, not with my job, not with our business, not with our man. This is how we pursue God. And yes, this is what every mom wants for a son, to simply find godly women. Take a trip with us this week to give praise and the honor that's due to godly women in scriptures.